Wasn't no way they could save him.
Another child, the victim of gun violence, and this story is really beyond heartbreaking.
This 7-year-old boy was inside his own home when a stray bullet comes through his kitchen window, hitting and killing him. It happened Sunday night in Louisville's Russell neighborhood in the 2100 block of West Madison Street. WAVE 3 News reporter Myra Ansari joining us from LMPD headquarters, and you spoke to the child's mother. She says that he was just about to go to bed.
Well, it was around 8:15 Sunday night. Police said that it was just a disturbing scene. The family had just moved into that house 2 months ago, and they never predicted something this horrifying to happen.
He always say he had big muscles.
With a smile that could light up a room, DeQuante Hobbs Jr. was just like any other 7-year-old. He loved pizza, basketball, his little sister, and his mother.
He was always under me. He was a mama's boy.
There is no way to describe Mykesha Norman's pain. Sunday night, DeQuante was in his kitchen.
He wanted a piece of cake. I was about to get him ready for school and bed. He was on his tablet.
Police say there was a fight next door. Someone fired shots.
It was over a dice game, like they played dice in back of this house right here.
A bullet went through Mykesha's window.
And it hit my baby in his neck. I tried to do CPR on him myself. I got a pulse from him, called the ambulance. The ambulance came, they tried to revive him at the hospital. And they did. I laid in the bed with him, and that's when they say he only had an hour to live. But my baby lived for 2.5 hours. So he fought for me.
If this doesn't wake anybody up, then I don't know what will.
DeQuante should have woken up Monday morning and gone to school just like any other 7-year-old. Instead, while police try to figure out who shot him, his mother is having to make a very difficult plea.
Just turn yourself in, that's all it is. He's 7, at least have a heart. Think of it if it was your child.
DeQuante was a student at Wellington Elementary. He was supposed to graduate and move on to the 2nd grade. He was looking forward to summer vacation, and he wanted to go to Kings Island this summer. His family is holding a balloon release in his honor tomorrow at 6:30 outside of their home on West Madison Street. If you have any information on this case, you are asked to call the anonymous tip line at 574 LMPD. Reporting live from LMPD headquarters, Myra Ansari, WAVE 3 News.
What got me the most today is she said that the doctors had told her that he would only have an hour to live. She only had an hour with him, but she ended up having an hour, 2.5 hours with him. And she said, my son is a fighter. I think, you know, me being a parent, can't even imagine what it's like. And it's tough. It's really tough.
Expect more right now. You're watching WAVE 3 News.
7 years old. God called him home. That's an angel.
Hundreds packing the streets coming out to honor the life of a 7-year-old Louisville boy killed by a stray bullet. Welcome here to WAVE 3 News at 11. I'm Scott Reynolds.
And I'm Shannon Kogan. Tonight calls for justice for an innocent victim. 7-year-old DeQuante Hobbs was at his kitchen table Sunday night eating a piece of cake when a bullet came flying through the window, killing him.
WAVE 3 News reporter Jabina Fortson was at that vigil tonight. She's live now at LMPD headquarters in Jabina. The chief, Conrad, and the mayor, Greg Fisher, also came out paying their respects tonight.
That's right, Scott. DeQuante Hobbs was described as a loved boy full of potential who sadly will never get the chance to reach it. And everyone outside his home today was pleading for the killer or anyone who knows information about this case to come forward. That was Mykesha Norman Sunday night. Her 7-year-old son, DeQuante Hobbs, had just been shot. He later died at the hospital. Tuesday, Norman's face numb, but the grief still present as she looked on at the hundreds who showed up to honor her child.
This is an undescribable pain. You can't describe it.
Police say a fight started during a dice game behind Hobbs' home Sunday. Shots were fired and a stray bullet went through this window. Hobbs was sitting at the kitchen table.
And eating leftover cake.
His little sister still struggling to understand what happened.
I had to tell my grandbaby one of the hardest things I had to tell her. I said Q had to go to heaven.
And police wish they knew why. 2 days and still no suspects. Officers spent the afternoon going door to door in a neighborhood known for remaining tight-lipped when it comes to cops.
If I've talked to everyone, there's not going to be any opportunity for someone to point back at who might have provided us with that critical information.
The mayor hopes that plan works.
I mean, if you're human at all, it breaks your heart. And you just keep saying, why does this need to happen?
Hobbs' family hopes through prayer they'll find that answer.
We're going to follow him to the heavens. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. Come on, DQ.
Police say they're looking for several people in this case. If you have any information that could help, call their anonymous tip line. That number is 574-LNPD. And in a few minutes, Wave 3 News reporter William Joy will take us inside their call center. Reporting live from LNPD headquarters, Jobina Fortson, Wave 3 News.
He liked all of them, though. This one is good. This was a book I just got him.
Tonight, a heart-wrenching exclusive here on Wave 3 News at 5. The mother of the 7-year-old boy killed by that stray bullet, opening up her heart and her home, wanting to walk us through exactly what happened Sunday night.
Daquante Hobbs Jr. was shot inside his home off West Madison Street in the Russell neighborhood after someone fired a gun during a dice game next door. And tonight, police are still looking for the person responsible in his death. Wave 3 News reporter Myra Ansari joining us now with this exclusive story. And Myra, why did the mother want to show you inside her home?
Well, it wasn't easy, Shannon, but Mykesha Norman wants the person responsible for killing her son to see what was taken away from her and her family. So she invited us into her home.
That's where he got shot at. That's where I usually sit at, but he sat right there to eat his cake.
The graduation cake that Daquante Hobbs Jr. was eating when a bullet came through this window and hit him is still on Mykesha Norman's kitchen table.
He still got a full cup of Big Red that he was drinking with it. When the bullet hit him, he fell out the chair, crawled in the hallway.
Mykesha says she was watching TV.
What did you hear?
Just the gun and him falling. I panicked at first. I ain't gonna lie, I panicked.
Mykesha tried to perform CPR on her son, but he didn't make it.
We had to wrestle them to take that picture.
Her home is filled with pictures of her children and Daquante's accomplishments. He enjoyed school, and just like many kids, he was a big fan of Paw Patrol and decorated his room himself.
He like Marshall.
Going through his closet, Mykesha finds all the things Daquante loved.
Blankets. It's his graduation outfit. He picked that out.
Daquante's water bottle is still by his bed, along with his phone.
People see his room where this happened. What do you want them to know?
He was happy. From beginning to end, he was happy.
What's it like to be in your home now?
Empty. Empty.
The message she has for all parents.
Hold on to your kids. People don't know that bullets they really don't have eyes. And people really don't have aim.
Mykesha takes some comfort in a bedtime ritual that Daquante knew by heart.
Now lay me down to sleep. Right. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. See me safely through the night and wake me with the morning light. Amen.
And Mykesha says she wants to move from her home on West Madison Street. Her 3-year-old daughter has been asking about DeQuante. She thinks that he's at school. DeQuante's visitation and funeral arrangements have been made. The public is invited. We've got all of that information on the Wave 3 News mobile app. Myra Ansari, Wave 3 News.
DeQuante Hobbs Jr. was just 7 years old. He was inside his own home eating a piece of cake last Sunday when the violence around him cost him his life. That innocent child was laid to rest at Kingdom Fellowship Church in Smoketown. People lined up to say goodbye and support the family, including the detectives desperately trying to arrest the shooter. The family played a slideshow with pictures of the little boy.
One thing that really got to me was when they start showing the pictures, but I think the message was loud and clear. Great little boy, taken too soon.
DeQuante's mother is inviting the public to join her in honoring her son and to talk about the violence. The celebration of his life is Thursday at 6:30 at the Chestnut Street YMCA Ballroom. Wave 3 News is partnering with the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage to host a benefit dinner for the Boyce family. The event will be this Wednesday from 5 to 9 p.m. Donations will be accepted and we need volunteers. You can find out more information about how to help on wave3.com.
The death of a 7-year-old is sparking an urgent call for change and conversations on how to take back our streets. I am live at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage. We have been here for most of the evening, starting at about 5 p.m. today, for a fundraiser for DeQuante Hobbs Jr.'s family. And that is because he was killed by a stray bullet on May 21st while he actually sat at his table eating a piece of graduation cake.
You know, I have a daughter who is the same age as DeQuante, who is going into 2nd grade, and when this call came out, when I got the page that we had this happen, she was playing on her iPad also and getting ready to go to bed. Yeah. And so I can feel what, I can't imagine what the mother feels, but I know that connection that she has with her son because I have that connection with my daughter who's the same age.
Expect more right now. You're watching Wave 3 News.
These signs are popping up all over West Louisville, a somber reminder of a child's murder. Signs asking, who killed this boy? Thanks for joining us for Wave 3 News at 6. I'm Shannon Kogan. Scott Reynolds is off. 7-year-old DeQuante Hobbs was shot and killed while eating cake and playing on his iPad inside his own home on West Madison Street. His killer still at large. Wave 3 News reporter Casey Cunningham went hunting down these signs today. And do we know who's responsible for putting them up?
Well, Shannon, first, these signs say, do you know where the person is that killed me? We're told the person who put up these signs may want to remain anonymous, but still they're hoping that these signs produce some answers. Along Broadway, DeQuante Hobbs' smiling school photo will remind you he's no longer here. It's also a reminder that whoever killed him is still at large. The signs prompting little or no words from most folks walking by. Others angry as they read the words. Do you know where the person is that killed me?
No, but if I find them, they'll probably die.
Hobbs was killed by a stray bullet on May 21st. He was sitting at his kitchen table eating cake and playing on his iPad. The tragedy sparking a major call for change from community leaders.
Can our sons count on you? Yes, they can. Can our daughters count on you? Yes, they can. Can all of our children count on you? Yes, we can. All right, let's get to work.
The mayor at WLOU's Summerfest kickoff event acknowledging the violence epidemic that's plaguing West Louisville.
The hearts of many people in this room, this community, and certainly mine, are heavy with the pain that drug addiction and gun violence cause.
Those heavy hearts even heavier as more are reminded of this 7-year-old's death. And like the sign says, if you know who killed DeQuante Hobbs, call 574 LMPD. Reporting live at LMPD headquarters, Casey Cunningham, Wave 3 News.
Expect more right now. You're watching Wave 3 News.
I expect him to lay in the bed, me hearing his heartbeat. I don't hear that no more. Once a carefree 7-year-old, he's now the symbolic face in the fight against gun violence. Thanks for joining us on Wave 3 News at 5:30. I'm David Mattingly.
And I'm Dawn G. DeQuante Hobbs Jr. was killed by a stray bullet 1 month ago. An anonymous community member has been placing signs throughout West Louisville, hoping someone will come forward with information. But today we're learning at least 2 of those signs were stolen. Wave 3 News reporter Casey Cunningham spoke with Hobbs' mother today.
One of the signs that was stolen was right here at the entrance of Shawnee Park. DeQuante's parents fear the person stealing the signs could have been there that night that their son was killed.
I think somebody's taking them down.
Just 48 hours ago, these signs were scattered through West Louisville. Makisha Norman says the signs were mostly on private property of friends and family, so she considers it suspect that they're just disappearing.
Me seeing them being taken down or taken away, it's disturbing, it's disrespectful to a 7-year-old child anyway.
Norman says the past month since DeQuante's death has been more than difficult.
I wake up every morning and I'm expecting him to come wake me up, and he's not waking me up.
At times even questioning if her own life was worth living.
And like, I went on the roof, I had access to the roof, and I was gonna jump off.
Now her mission is to seek justice for her son.
It's very important for me to know and to look that person in the eye of who killed my son.
A mission that's growing nationally, with Master P and Little Romeo planning to honor DeQuante at the gun violence victim celebrity basketball game in New Orleans. Here in Louisville, Makisha and DeQuante Hobbs Sr. are making sure the signs get put back up.
The person that did it should see his face, should remember, and should be heartbroken about it too.
The disappearing signs won't stop family, friends, and community members from putting out more signs. There's still about 30 left that they're going to be placing throughout West Louisville. Reporting in Shawnee Park, Casey Cunningham, Wave 3 News.
With breaking news happening now, this is Wave 3 News.
Today we were able to arrest Wyatt Williams for the murder of DeQuante Hobbs.
A 7-year-old boy murdered, and today on the first day of school, police arrest a man they say pulled the trigger. Thanks for joining us for Wave 3 News at 6. I'm Shannon Kogan.
And I'm Scott Reynolds. We were the first local TV station to let you know on the app about that arrest made in the DeQuante Hobbs homicide. The 7-year-old sitting at his kitchen table eating cake. Remember, that bullet came through his window, killing him back on May 21st. Tonight, police have charged 23-year-old Wyatt Williams with his murder.
Wave 3 News reporter Myra Ansari has been closely following this case from the beginning, and DeQuante Hobbs' mother has been pleading for this news. She must be so relieved.
Well, Shannon, Makisha Norman had plans to go to Wellington Elementary, the school that her son used to go to pass out bookmarks of her son, DeQuante Hobbs Jr., but instead she was told to come here to LMPD headquarters because police had made an arrest in her son's case. Now, 23-year-old Wyatt Williams is now facing murder charge. Police say that Williams was playing dice outside a home off Dr. W.J. Hodge Street when he pulled out a gun and fired multiple shots at someone. One of those bullets went through a kitchen window, hitting DeQuante at a table where he was eating cake. Police were looking for Williams. They received numerous tips that he was involved in DeQuante's case. 2 days after DeQuante died, police arrested Williams. He was in jail on drugs and weapons charges. He was eventually released on home incarceration, and today they were able to piece it all together and charged him with murder.
There were several people there, and I think we've talked about that many times, about we need to talk to those people and get them to tell us what happened. So we have talked to several of those people and analyzing all of those statements, putting all those statements together over time, taking all of the evidence that we've collected from that scene and over the course of time via video or cell phone data, things like that, putting all those together, corroborating that, and that's what we were able to put together today to bring that murder charge.
Community activist Christopher 2X told me that Makisha was hearing on the streets that Williams was the one behind her son's murder. I'm told that today is just a bittersweet day for her. She's expected to speak today. We'll have more on that coming up on Wave 3 News at 11. Reporting live from LMPD headquarters, Myra Ansari, Wave 3 News.
I don't even know his name, but he said, "Auntie, I promise you, I'm gonna get whoever did this."
A promise fulfilled hours after an arrest in one of Louisville's most high-profile murder cases, a bit of closure. We thank you for joining us here on Wave 3 News at 11. I'm Scott Reynolds.
And I'm Shannon Kogan. His name, hard to forget. DeQuante Hobbs, a little boy shot to death by a stray bullet from a nearby dice game while in his own kitchen eating a piece of cake.
And today his mom should have been sending him off to his first day of school, but instead she learned the news she'd been waiting for. That accused gunman, Wyatt Williams, was caught. Wave 3 News reporter Natalia Martinez spoke to the boy's family just a couple of hours ago. And Natalia, you've learned this is by far from the first time they've had to go through something like this.
Scott, this family has lost 4 children to violence just within the last year. All 4 of those children were cousins. She should have been taking her son to school, but instead, DeQuante Hobbs' mother picked up the phone.
It's mixed emotions, really, with happy tears, sad tears.
On the other end, police. They'd made an arrest in her little boy's death.
My heart just dropped. And then I glanced over at my son's picture and he's smiling.
This is Wyatt Williams, the man police say ended DeQuante's life. But this pain, far too familiar for this family.
We're going through this to lose our loved ones. These are our babies.
Babies like 14-year-old Fat Daddy, shot and killed almost 1 year ago, and teen brothers Larry Ordway and Maurice Gordon, brutally murdered exactly 1 year before DeQuante's death. All 4 children were cousins.
It doesn't matter what color you are, black, white, whatever. Children are children.
Children who should have been going to their first day of school.
My son's supposed to be on that school bus, not laying in some dirt and gravel or a casket.
There have been arrests in all 4 of the children's murder cases now. DeQuante's mom is far from healing, but news of the arrest got her to let in a little bit of light.
At first it was kind of cloudy outside, and as soon as they said that, the sun just beamed out of nowhere.
The family thanked police for their hard work, and they also thanked all the people who did come forward with information to help solve this case and get an arrest. As for the suspect, police say that he was playing a game of dice when he got into an argument with another person, started shooting. One of those stray bullets was the one that hit DeQuante Hobbs. Williams is now charged with murder. Reporting live, Natalia Martinez, Wave 3 News.
The parents of a Louisville boy who was killed by a stray bullet see the man accused of killing their son. Good evening, I'm David Mattingly.
And I'm Dawn G. It was an emotional day in court for the family of DeQuante Hobbs Jr. It took police months to make an arrest in this case, and this morning, Hobbs' family continues to seek justice in what could be a long road ahead.
Wave 3 News reporter Myra Ansari joins us live from the Judicial Center, and Myra, Hobbs' mother has been outspoken in the past, but today was different.
Well, that's right, David. She had a very hard time after court today and had to walk away. The suspect came before a judge for a pretrial conference. We caught up with DeQuante Hobbs' mother after court, and she says it appeared that the man who's charged with killing her son was heartless.
The pain Mykesha Norman and her family feels is unimaginable. No parent expects to be sitting in a courtroom. No parent expects to be in the same space as their son's accused killer. This is 23-year-old Wyatt Williams.
He came out and he nodded his head at his family like, "What's up?" He didn't care.
Williams faces several charges. The most serious is murder. On May 21st, police say Williams was playing dice outside a home off Dr. W.J. Hodge Street when he pulled out a gun and fired multiple shots at someone. One of those bullets went through a kitchen window, hitting DeQuante at a table where he was eating cake.
That's where he got shot at.
I asked Mykesha what she would say to Williams if she had the chance.
Ooh, I don't know what I would say to him. Probably wouldn't be nothing. The anger that's built inside of me from, losing a child so early that didn't deserve anything. We wasn't even outside. We was in our own home.
Mykesha says Wednesday was overwhelming. She and DeQuante's father consoled each other outside the courtroom.
I can tell it took a whole lot for him to sit there too. Yeah, and not only is he my son's father, he's also my best friend. Because how long we known each other since middle school. And here we are 26 years old.
Young parents who will have to deal with the pain of losing a child for the rest of their lives. The assistant Commonwealth attorney says cases like this are never easy.
When you're talking about a 7-year-old, soon, would have been 8-year-old in January, it's a big deal. It hits you different.
Mykesha knows nothing will bring her son back. She holds on to hope for justice.
Pray that he get what he deserves. And to me, I think he deserves life.
Mykesha has become a voice against violence. Williams will be back in court January 8th. His family was in the courtroom today. They declined to comment. Reporting live, Myra Ansari, Wave 3 News.
There is also a lot of good in our community, and that was evident today at the first ever Wave 3 News Taking Back Your Streets community picnic at Chickasaw Park. Not only was it a blast, but in a time of elevated violence, solidarity prevailed. From dancing to making new friends to just plain having fun.
I get to take pictures with a Subway sandwich too.
Sunday at Chickasaw Park in the heart of the West End, it was only about one thing.
It's all about these kids right here. These beautiful kids.
Here was the idea. Let's prove that taking back your streets is something we really mean. Push out the bad and bring in the good.
The positive vibe that you can have around the community so they won't kill each other and have a lot of violence.
The city, police, and residents taking the chance to make new friends.
And people don't get a chance to really see us have fun and let down a little bit. It's been a lot of fun to be able to meet folks like LaShawn here.
Deshawn thought it was great to meet the new officers too.
They were really nice, encouraging. They were here teaching us how to be safe.
The number of agencies that came out, too long to mention, but altogether, they inspired the members of Lincoln Bridge.
No matter how much evil is shown in the West End, we can still be together.
And to the beats of DJ Justice, we showed that coming together, we will always win.
This is like important. This is beautiful, man. There's no other words to describe it.
Well, thank you for everyone who came out. We have a ton of fun photos from today's picnic online. You can just click on the slideshow on wave3.com.